what does that freedom look like? What does that look like?
I would say the person out there that's struggling today is remember that God is not petty and he's not punitive. I think sometimes we literally think we serve a God that's like waiting for us to mess up, to condemn us to hell. And he is so petty that he is tracking the wrongs to like bring up later. You know, I just live with a lot more freedom. I don't live with the restrictions of thou shall nots. Like I live with a heck of a lot more. There's still things I don't do, but like there's definitely things that I didn't dabble or do. I didn't drink. I didn't have my first drink till I was like 27.
What's up? It's your girl, Shaniece, professional closet organizer, declutter expert, and scientist. And this is another episode of Closet Therapy, the show where we open the doors to the stories and conversations we don't usually talk about. You know, the messy middles, the pivots, the insecurities, the fears, the reinventions, and the emotional clutter we keep hidden behind our well-curated lives. And today's guest, y'all, y'all may know her as MrsKevOnStage, but I know her as Superwoman, and I'll get more into that later as I read her bio. But I am so honored to have her here with me on this episode. She is someone, again, most of these people are people that I hold dear to my heart because they not only have supported my business, but even in those moments where we work together, they have poured into my lives in ways that they probably won't know, but we'll discover on this podcast. And so I'm just so grateful to introduce you guys to Melissa Fredericks, MrsKevOnStage. Woo! Cue the applause. I'm going to read her bio from what was sent to me, you know?
Who sent it?
I don't know who sent it.
Maybe it was my team. The team is me.
Yeah, the team is me. Okay, so Melissa Fredericks, known to millions as MrsKevOnStage, is a New York Times bestselling author, bragging on my friends again, author, powerhouse creator, entrepreneur, and lifestyle storyteller who has built a dynamic brand at the intersection of humor, as y'all gonna find out, beauty, y'all see here, beautiful, hosting, and real life authenticity, which I'm so excited that she is really who she is on and off the camera, just to give y'all guys that little backdrop. With a voice marked by warmth, candor, and razor sharp wit, she's cultivated a thriving community of women who connect with her signature blend of honesty, joy, and elevated everyday living. A devoted wife and mother, Superwoman, Melissa infuses her work with values of connection, joy, and intentional living, centering women in content that helps them feel seen, affirmed, and inspired. Gracefully balancing humor, storytelling, entrepreneurship, and social impact, she continues to evolve as a multi-hyphenate creative leader. Whether on screen, on stage, or around the dinner table, MrsKevOnStage empowers women to embrace beauty, confidence, and everyday joy, one honest conversation at a time. So let's get into this honest conversation. Welcome to Closet Therapy.
Thank you.
Melissa.
I'm very excited to be here, and congratulations. I don't know where I fall in the order of situations, but congratulations nonetheless on launching a podcast.
Thank you so much for coming out here, because I don't know where your cape is, because the fact that you found time to do this. Did you go to the gym?
I did go to the gym today. Very, very proud. I'm a little sore. I went to the gym, dropped Joe off. I made myself breakfast, which also deserves a round of applause.
Let's give it to you, okay?
Yeah. I had a little meeting and now I'm here.
Again, y'all are going to see why I call this woman Superwoman, because how you do all that and it's not.
I know.
It's still
That's
early.
why I'm tired.
You know, it's still early.
I know. But I'm very excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here too. So I like to start the show off with, first of all, opening up the closet doors. And since I have not been in your closet since you last did it, child, you want to tell me after what the status is, or you want to let me know right now what's happening in there?
The closet right now is overflowing, unorganized. There is a suitcase that's half unpacked, and there's probably 4 shoes that need to be put away, but they don't really have a home right now.
Oh.
So they just kind of...
But we created... them.
Yeah, you know, honestly, if you were to put it in a word, it would be, I need to schedule another appointment.
Okay.
That's not a word. That's more like a sentence.
That's a whole
but you
sentence.
understand.
But
yeah,
run-on
yeah.
sentences can be one word.
Yeah.
We're going to make it one word.
Yes, correct.
Just like supercalifragilistic.
Things. Unorganized. That's the one word. Help.
I'm screaming. Don't worry, I got you. If we did open the closet doors for real, like if we're talking metaphorically or, you know, physically, emotionally, whatever, what story would it tell about the season that you're in right now?
Ooh, the story that it would tell about the season of life that I'm in right now is that I'm actually trying to lean into the softness and the less of life. I don't necessarily do it good. That's why I said try. Try is holding all the weight in the sentence, okay? But the reason why is because I feel like I'm in a bit of a transition. I'm 42, child. I'm in perimenopause. My emotions are all over the place. And I feel like I'm going through, I don't want to call it identity crisis because that feels a bit dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
But also,
what? But it sounds like you. The word.
Yeah, I'm here for the theatrics. But I do feel like, I think with, you know, one of the something that often happens to women in perimenopause is they do go through a bit of an identity crisis. And I think that for a long time, and it hasn't been true in quite some time, but it is like part of the fiber of my being, is that I've always had to hold down the fort for my family.
Yeah.
And I don't have to do that anymore. And so I'm trying to lean into finding the things that bring me joy just because. Not because of the content of it, not because I want to turn it into a business, just because I simply enjoy it. And that has been, you know, a really good process for me, to be honest. I've been really, really like enjoying like tapping into and finding the creativity that I'm sure has always been in my life, but I didn't have the freedom to explore it.
Wow. I love that. What have you discovered about yourself so far?
I have enjoyed the process of, I was going to say creating, but that's like, I love anyway.
That's fine.
Yeah, I was like using the word in the definition. I would say that I am enjoying, let me think how I want to say this, creating memories for my family. And it also is like healing for like my inner child.
That healing the inner child. And I know sometimes people are like, oh, well, what's the inner child for you? But like, what part of you feel that needs the healing? And what part did you have to like, that you had to acknowledge was missing from you now?
I was never a kid that daydreamed. I was never a kid that really watched cartoons. And so I think I was just always like a very serious kid, you know, like I needed to get good grades. I was an older sister. That was something I took very serious. I was churchy. And so I took my relationship with Christ very serious. And so I think this is just like, I took a floral arrangements class. Girl, it was so much fun.
Oh, wow.
And like, you're not doing really anything but like playing, you know, like, I think this is pretty. Put it in here, cut this, take this off, do this. And like, it's hard for me because I am so serious and I love rules.
Yeah.
I think it's so easy for me to like paint inside of the lines and like 1 means red. Great. So I'll look for every number 1 on here and I'm going to color it red. 2 means blue. Great. I'm going to color. And I know I'm doing it right because I'm following the instructions. Creativity is not that. And so having the process of like, trust the process and it'll be beautiful in the end. Or like go with your instinct and it'll work out in the end is very foreign to me. And so it is teaching me about trusting my instincts, going with my gut, understanding who I am as a creative. Like all of that never existed for me as a child. In my 20s, it never was a thing. And so this is the part that's like being woken up.
Yeah. So you're getting to actually dream.
Yeah. And just do.
All of this is definitely healing.
Yeah.
That
it's fun.
The inner child.
It is because I don't think I was fun. Not that I wasn't allowed to be fun.
Yeah.
It's that I just didn't tap into fun. And so I'm trying really hard to just do things for the fun, for the joy, because I want to. And that's enough of a reason.
Wow. So like, I want to run back to like your childhood, because I mean, we've had conversations like when we started working together and like really learning, but like in your childhood, you saying like, I wasn't really fun, and like, what were you doing? Like, what was like what were some of the things you had to unlearn, even as we're going to step into like how long you and Kev been married, but like that you had to unlearn in order to just like grow and become who you are now from your childhood?
I think the actual literal weight of the world. Are you the oldest?
I'm the baby.
You're the baby.
Yeah.
Are you the only girl?
No.
Okay.
My dad was a Rolling Stone, so like I'm the second to youngest on my dad, and then the baby girl on my mom. So all girls.
Got it. I feel like there's a weight that I think you wear as the oldest sibling that I don't really actually think I identified until much later in life. And so I had straight A's to get. Yeah. I had college applications to get. Like, Kevin and I graduated college at, call it 20, 21 years old. I had a child, got married, bought a house, and was an assistant manager at a bank by the time I was 23 years old.
You lived a whole...
That's crazy.
Decade of someone's life.
Crazy.
In a few years.
Yes. Crazy. I think back, like, my son is 19. Imagine in 3 or 4 years, he's a manager. Like, what? Yeah. Like, why was I what?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, was I a teller? No. Like, why did I didn't climb through the ranks. It was, I'm out of college. I know what I'm doing. I can run this branch, no problem. But I did a good job.
Yeah, of course, because you're going by the book. Like, I'm that person. But do you think that has helped you now in your life now, like where you are?
For sure.
So it's not all bad.
No. I actually, I'm not knocking who I was before as much as I appreciate the evolution that allows me to be this version today. Yeah. You know, like, I can tap into that, but also the other part of evolution is recognizing what's no longer needed. Yeah. And so again, going back to recognizing, you know, the place that I'm in my life, and I'm so grateful to be in this place that I don't have to wear the burden anymore. Kevin, my husband, was the dreamer. I'm the one who had to get up and go to work still and make sure we had money and make sure there was health insurance and dental insurance and all of these things. I don't have to do that. But for a long time, like, I still wore that responsibility. Yeah. And so now I'm just trying to evolve where I recognize that no longer serves me. It's no longer needed. I'm grateful for that person and because it was needed. Yeah. It's not needed at 42. Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah. I love that, because it's so funny that you said, like, you see yourself, like, I've always seen you as someone that is fun. Oh, like, and like the way, literally, like, the way you zoom, and I literally mean zoom through the house and like zoom around, like, literally, I've always seen you as someone that's like lighthearted, fun. Like, even when you're talking to the kids, like, being serious, but also it's kind of like, I wouldn't be able to take my mom serious if I was them, but like,
and they don't. They don't.
Not even Monty.
No.
Monty does not take you serious either.
No.
But I love that about you. So I do want to acknowledge that, like, as much as you thought or you think that you're not fun, like, I feel like you were. And when I met you, like, when I go way back, like, Kev was doing, at this time, working in ministry, Kev was doing something for our church. And it's so funny because it's like, he came in, and you came in, you had the boys, and it was like you literally just used to sit off and let him do his thing and sit in the back, and then to see the evolution of, like, you now, like, I love it, because that's why I said, like, you found your voice. Like, it's not like you didn't know your voice, but like it's almost, I want to say it's the Benjamin Button in reverse, but like, you know, like, you're allowing yourself to like play now, and like, people love it. Like, it's allowing you to be free. And it's like, you're at the point where it's like, I raised my kids. And I mean, you know, like, at this point, college is y'all on your own.
They are grown kids at this point.
I love that. And so I do want to ask you this question, right? Like, how did you finally say, I'm going to step out from, you know, like, Kev did his thing. We got him to a place. You know, it's like, all right, you good. Like, I'm ready. What was that moment like for you? Like, what was that moment to transition into, no, I'm Mrs. Kev on stage, and this is Melissa.
Yeah, you know, I think the initial start to, like, I guess my creative journey, so to speak, was the Love Hour, which I think is still, it's a little bit, it's definitely still my serious side because I love teaching as well.
Yeah.
But it allowed me to show up on camera every week, do a tour. And it was something that I genuinely enjoyed. I love talking about love and marriage. It's one of my favorite topics to talk about to this day. And so it didn't feel heavy, you know? It was a lot lighter. I actually would say that was probably an easier time than this.
Yeah.
This I get really like kind of heady about because it's uncomfortable. And so I don't know that I have the confidence to answer the question in a way that like, this is what it feels like, because I still have a lot of hesitation.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of trepidation, and I still have a lot of fear. I just try to do it anyway.
Not try. You actually do it.
Well, thank you.
Anyway.
I appreciate
like,
that.
That's why we have content to see you, because you still do. Like, what is the moments like before you even turn on the camera? Do you have like a pep talk that you give yourself?
I have
what is it that you say?
You know, it's not anything like anything that I say consistently, but if I'm having a moment where I feel like I'm messing up a lot, I do tell myself, do it anyway.
Yeah.
Do it anyway, because the camera captures all of it, including the good. But I think sometimes, at least for me, I think it's only capturing the bad.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm going to sit down and edit and there's not going to be anything there.
Yeah.
And there's so many gems when you commit to doing it anyway.
Taking that.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull that string real quick. Okay, so you mentioned that you do like to talk about love and marriage, which is something that I did want to tap into because like I get, first of all, it's an honor like to do what I do with closets, because then I get a front row seat. Like, I literally love y'all. Like the way that y'all navigate with each other and just operate, it's not just for the cameras. Like, no. This is like legit. Someone can turn the camera on at any moment and it's still going to be you and Kev.
Yeah.
I love that. So I do want to ask you this, right? You guys have this like rare love story. High school sweethearts who grew up together. Who were you when you met him, and who were you becoming in that moment? Like, can you like identify?
Yeah. I was a super churchy. I was never shy, but I was not one of like a ton of words unless we got to talking. But I was extremely churchy, probably very like conservative, very kind of idealistic, almost to the point of naivete, to be honest with you. Headed toward, I never wanted to be a first lady, but I could definitely see myself being like a minister or, you know, teaching, being over a department in a ministry in the church or something like that. Kev was probably, I wouldn't say he was aiming to be a pastor, but I could see that eventually becoming his path. Yeah. And I think who we are today, I think those, the foundation, those church roots are still there.
Yeah.
100%. But I do live with a lot more freedom.
So okay, let's talk about the freedom, that portion. Like, what do you feel you wish you knew then that you know now? Like, even you expressing that freedom, because there's some people that may be listening that feel like, oh, there's certain things I can't do, like whether they're not married yet, but like that freedom, you feel like, oh my God, if I do this, I'm going to hell. Like anything, if I cuss, if I say, oh God, forget, like, what does that freedom look like? What does that look like?
I would say the person out there that's struggling today is remember that God is not petty and he's not punitive. I think sometimes we literally think we serve a God that's like waiting for us to mess up, to condemn us to hell. And he is so petty that he is tracking the wrongs to like bring up later. So you're like, oh, I did this wrong. That's why I have a flat tire.
A lot of people say that.
I know.
First of all, go there. Like,
I know.
See it.
I feel like even when you think about like your tithe, sometimes I think we treat our tithes like the way that it is downloaded on us, not necessarily that it's like intentional.
Mhm.
But sometimes I think that the way that it is downloaded into us and the way that we process it is tithes. It's almost like your cell phone bill. You pay them so that way you can ensure that you can pick up your phone in the service where you pay your tithes to ward off bad things, right? You pay your tithes to ensure God is paid and all these good things should come my way, and things don't line up that way all the time. And so it's like disjointed.
Mhm.
And I think we have to remember that God doesn't operate that way. Obviously you should pay your tithes, you should do these things, but like not in a way where you're expecting something on the other end. It's not a service that you're paying into to ensure something on the other end. And so I do live with, I just live with a lot more freedom. I don't live with the restrictions of thou shall nots. Like I live with a heck of a lot more. There's still things I don't do, but like there's definitely things that I didn't dabble or do. I didn't drink. I didn't have my first drink till I was like 27.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like never.
Well, I'm like 6. I'm West Indian, y'all. That's I have an excuse. My grandfather was giving me beer and stuff.
Well, you know what's so funny?
No business drinking beer.
But it's for some people, it's cultural.
Yeah.
When you go to Europe, they're 12 years old drinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think for me, I think everything should be done responsibly. I'm 42. Ain't nobody trying to get drunk. I think that's foolish. I got stuff to do tomorrow. I'm a grown up with an agenda and a schedule and things to do.
Yes.
I'm right. But having a little, listen, I love a good drinks and apps meal.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to the restaurant, order everything on the appetizers, a couple drinks.
Yeah.
This is perfection.
Don't overdo it.
Yeah,
we're not
just
overdoing it.
I'm a grown up. I have stuff to do. I'm not interested in it anyways. But like, I live in that freedom now.
Yeah, I love that. And you mentioned like even with the tithe thing, right? Like sometimes we pay God in order to be respecting something. Has that ever shown up in like in the early stages of your marriage? Like where it's like, I do this nice thing because I'm expecting you to do something nice back? Or like, how would you speak to that? Yeah,
I think I would say this is more my husband's side. This is something that he would say is that the men's ministry would teach like wash the dishes so you can have sex, or cook dinner so you can have sex later. And that's just not going to work. Yeah. It's just not going to work. And I think the thing that works is the relationship, putting in the relationship, knowing that what you're doing is because you care, out of the abundance of your heart. Like all of these things for not to do something in return, because that's tick for tat. Yeah. And scorekeeping. And I don't think God operates on scorekeeping. Yeah. And I certainly don't want to be in a relationship. I hate friendships like that. I hate friendships where I feel like you do and immediately I'd be like, I didn't do that in expectation of this.
For you to do something back for me.
Now this feels weird.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to settle the score and it's not that for me. You do when you do, I do when I do. And to me, that's just like relationship. That's friendship. That's marriage. That's just what it is. So that was definitely a thing. But I generally don't operate on a very like scorekeeping, tick for tat. My memory don't allow me to. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Because sometimes I wish, though. I don't, and I don't think you should. But sometimes I do want to be petty, and I want to remember, so I can be like, you know what? I'm gonna get you back. But my brain be like, girl,
that's gone. Forget about it. Don't even waste your time.
Don't worry about it. We're not gonna remember that tomorrow. Don't worry.
So even with the boys growing up, right? Like, because one, you guys were young and obviously you learned each other over time and you built this beautiful relationship that you guys have. Like, what is it that you teach your boys? I remember when you told me that Isaiah had a girlfriend.
He sure did.
I was stressed because I was like, no, not yet.
No,
like,
please.
What is it that you teach them, like being what they call them, boy moms?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you teaching them that you learned from your marriage, like that you may have not learned from seeing your parents' marriage?
Oh, so many things. I would say the number one thing that I teach the boys right now is that you date for experience. You don't date to marry. And for me, we got married young.
Yeah.
And so we ended up learning each other growing up.
Yeah.
And so I tell Isaiah, you don't have to go into every relationship thinking this is my wife. But you should go at the end of a relationship, during the relationship, taking mental notes about, I like this about myself. I like that she brings this out of me. I don't like that she does this.
Yeah.
I don't like this personality trait is a little bit weird for me and it's not jiving with me. So that way, as you date, when the right one does come, you've had knowledge and experience about yourself that helps you identify this is the right one. I know this is the right one. These are the things that are important to me. These are the things that make me tick. She is knocking off these things. This is the one. And I think we don't, a lot of times in the Christian community, we don't allow young people to have that experience. And then they get married really young and then they get divorced.
Yeah.
It's because they don't know themselves. I think what makes marriage and relationships work is about the knowledge that you have about yourself, knowing this personality. Isaiah was dating this little girl.
Little girl.
This
AKA,
little girl.
y'all hear this? Little girl.
Little girl. She was a little bit controlling, you know, even at a young age, she was a little bit controlling, and she didn't want Isaiah to like hang with his friends. We've been here for a long time. So he's had friends since like second, third grade, girls and boys.
Yeah.
And she would be like, you can't be friends with them on Instagram. Don't like their pictures. Y'all can't hang out. Isaiah's a very social kid.
Yeah.
He loves, like, everyone thinks it's Joe. It's Isaiah. Isaiah's very social. He's tons of friends. He loves going out. He's all of things. So all of a sudden he's staying in the house all the time. He's like isolating himself where it's just him and the girl.
Yeah.
Right? He's trying to be a good boyfriend. So he's doing it. But I'm telling him, like, if this is literally antithetical to who you are, it is forcing you to change in a way that's not good.
Yeah.
Changing the fiber, the DNA of who God created you to be, which is social. You want to be outgoing. You want to network. You want to meet with people. You want to hang out. Not that that should be prioritized over your relationship, but to the point where it's just me and you, baby. That's it. You can't have no friends. That's not good.
Yeah.
And so now he knows I can't have a girlfriend like that.
Yeah.
He had another girlfriend. She was long distance.
Wait, too many happened. Too many happened.
He's only had two. It's
Okay,
just
I'm
the
like
two,
too many.
child.
Like
He's taking a break right now. I'm like, good for you. He's taking a break. But she was long distance, super sweet girl, super sweet family. But he also learned he needs I want to be able to take my girlfriend on a date on the weekends. I want to be able to see her on a random Tuesday. And so now he knows long distance. And they started long distance.
Yeah.
They didn't start, in person where they were able to build a foundation. It was immediately long distance. And so I'm like, now you know that. But it's more than just the long distance. You know that you're I don't want to call him clingy, but like that physical touch, that closeness is important to him. You need to register that about yourself. So again, when you go into relationships, you can articulate to a woman, we go into relationships, I am this, I am this, I am this, I am this. And then the person dating you was like, you are none of those things. I don't know why you told me that you love to talk. You are shutting down.
Yeah. And I was told, I thought I was a great communicator. I was like, I communicate. And not only did my therapist validate it, but when he was like, you're a terrible communicator.
And that's what I'm saying.
I took it offensive.
Yes, because you're like, first of all, hold on a second.
I talk.
But right. But so you have this like idealistic or out of touch or whatever view of yourself, but these things teach you how you actually show up.
Yeah.
So in your relationships, you can articulate, listen, baby, I need time. That's important to me. Quality time, that's one of my love languages. So if that's not going to work, you're busy, you're married to your career, you want to do these things, you don't have time for me, it's not going to work for me because I'm not going to feel loved in this relationship. You have to know that.
Yeah.
You have to know that.
That's so good.
I will chase you down. There's a cat and mouse dynamic that often exists in relationships. I'm a chaser, the one that like wants to run away and like, I need time. I don't want to talk. And I want to talk right now. We need to talk about this right now. It's like a cat and mouse dynamic. So knowing that about you, I am a chaser. I want to talk. I want to talk immediately. If it's on my chest, if it's on my heart, we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
I need to know that because I don't want to talk. I need time to think. I need time to get my words together. Okay, let's talk about that. Like, is that going to work? Is that not going to work? Or, okay, you're a runner. I'm a chaser. At what point are we going to sit down? Yeah. Can we say tomorrow at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever, we're going to have this conversation? Or am I going to say I'm overwhelmed right now in this moment, but if you give me 30 minutes, I'll come back and we can.
Yes.
Like, these are the parameters and conversations you need to have in relationships, but we often don't know these things about ourselves.
Yes. So how did you learn? Okay, because you and Kev did get married so young, so y'all had to learn these things like together. But how did you do that on your own time to also bring it to him to say, I don't like this, or like, how did you learn that?
My own personal experience. I'm 42, been married for 20. 1.5 years, and therapy.
Mm.
Strong believer in relationship therapy, where the relationship is the client, and personal therapy, where you are the client.
Yeah.
Strong believer. And they help you. And like I said, I love this stuff and I still don't get it right.
Yeah.
So having a therapist be able to help you articulate, help you like think through your thoughts, so to speak, go through your trauma and all these things, and shows you how you impact, or how they impact you and how you show up in the world. Like, those things are super, super important. But you get there when you realize, I'm kind of at this impasse with my husband. I feel like I'm telling him this, and this. These are my needs, but for some reason it's not registering. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why?
Yeah.
What is happening? The therapist helps you do that.
Yeah.
So for me, definitely life experience and therapy.
What was something that you found your voice in to share with Kev? Like, because like he's used to you being one way, and then you be in therapy, you be like, yeah, like I realize that about myself and I want to change that. So like bringing that to somebody that's like, but you always, for the past, we always, like, why all of a sudden that, like, how did you find your voice and the confidence to actually bring stuff that may have been hard? And what was it? What was one thing?
Oh, there's so many things. I would honestly say that, number one, finding your voice, at least for me, also is about advocating for myself in like every dynamic, right? And so it's not just like in my relationship I need to use my voice. It is at the doctor's office I need to use my voice. At Macy's and I feel cut off.
Yeah.
Like, I also need to use my voice. These are also the things that like you realize you have to. I had a situation where and honestly, it was in therapy. I had a situation where I was working with this woman and I needed to fire her. The reality is I should have fired her 6 months. Wait, when's Mother's Day? May?
May.
5 months prior. I should have fired her. In January, I knew I should have fired her. Had a conversation with like 3 people about how unhappy I was and I needed to fire her. I did not do it. When May came around, I was in too deep and I couldn't fire her. Everything worked out in the end, but it was a lesson. You trust in your instinct, and you should have said something and you didn't. And so I think for me, it is recognizing that it's not like isolated to just this avenue of my life that I need to use my voice and like advocate for myself. It's in like every opportunity I need to be doing that. I think what I have to be careful with my husband especially is because he's so close to me, is making sure that in advocating for myself or using my voice that it doesn't come across as barking. Because sometimes when you're like, I'm finna advocate for myself, I'm finna use my voice, I got this new voice, you better not say nothing to me. And if you do, you finna catch an attitude.
Period.
You're not even ready.
Yeah.
I hope you say something to me because I'm ready to practice today. That's not fair to him.
Yeah.
And so it's like finding, like tempering it, like you still want, I strongly believe that, I don't believe is actually what I should say. I do not believe in brutal truth. I do not believe in brutal honesty.
How do you define brutal honesty?
I think you can say, I think you should be honest with your partner, any of your relationships. But if you cannot find it in your heart to be nice or say it in a way that lands softly with a person that you claim to love and you want to be in relationships with, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And the person's not going to hear it.
That's true.
They're going to be defensive. And now you've picked a fight.
And now I'm attacking you back.
Because what you mean?
Yeah. Who you talking to?
So you want to get froggy? Leap, baby.
Yeah. Look.
Leave.
First of all, y'all, Melissa, she look like a little gentle, short person. No.
I'm
Look
6
at
feet,
her.
first of all.
Listen, she's 6 feet. That's right. Y'all did have that little whole, you and Kev, with, I'm 6 feet.
I'm 6 feet.
Y'all.
Okay. The energy is 6 feet energy all day.
Okay. Period.
But yeah, I definitely, and so I had to learn that, like, I can't just come at him, like so strongly, I have to find a way to say the things. You don't necessarily have to sugarcoat, but you can be nice in your delivery. You can find a way to be kind in your delivery to someone you want to continue. Now, if you don't want to continue a relationship, baby,
go for it.
Knives out. Do what you want to do.
But still be kind.
Yeah, I would recommend. But hey, if you finna cut it off,
it's fine.
It'll be fine. But if it's your husband, somebody you want, a friend, coworker, whatever, and you want to continue this relationship in a way that's healthy, at least, you can tell the truth in kind.
Yeah. And do you think that like you and Kev, like how have you guys learned how to, this is going to sound crazy to ask that, but like, how have you learned how to argue? Come to agreements.
We didn't do it well.
Really?
And not in
because he seemed like so gentle. Like for real, like Kev looked like a little teddy bear. Like,
well, and that's the problem though. So I actually think what we suffered from is not high energy toxic arguments. They were non-arguments.
Oh, so the silence.
The ignoring, the sweeping under the rug.
Yeah.
And so you have all of these, bent up or pent up issues that never get discussed. And so therapy was a help for us.
Yeah.
You're able to like articulate those things because I don't want to hurt your feelings. It's almost like the opposite of what I said. Like I almost want to be too nice, which is why finding my voice was so important because it was like, I don't want to be that person anymore. I want to say it now.
Yeah.
Well, you done swung too far. Okay.
Yeah.
You done swung too far.
You gotta know how to say it nicer.
Yeah, you still gotta know how to say it nicer. So we had to learn how to fight simply by saying the things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I like that. So it's more so like taking notes because people who are not married like to learn that before you step into something. Because I think the Bible even talks about like no man wants to be in the same house with a nagging woman.
With a nagging woman.
Yeah, like
and I don't want to be that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. And actually, but that'll also brittle your tongue, women. So also just remember that too. Because I also think that is a scripture that weighed in my mind where I didn't want to be.
Nothing. That is like literally my little closet confession. Because sometimes, and I know my mouth too, and that's also why I'm like also, because I'm very nice, I'm kind, but like it's up to a certain point where it builds up, and then my tongue is sharp, and I'm like, I don't want to say that because I know the after effect of it, and I also don't want to be a nagging woman because Black women also get that
stereotype
a lot too.
All the time.
So it's like, I don't want to be nagging. I don't want to be the angry Black woman. I don't want, like, it's all of these I don't want to be.
Yes.
But then you end up being it silently.
Yes. Because were you silent or were you silenced? Come on, Oprah.
No, here now. Helping you out. I love that. Okay, so I want to ask this because I mean, you don't tapped into it, right? Because some people, like how you said, like as an experience and all that, with intimacy and identity and womanhood, like with the same relationship your entire life. Because, I've heard guys say like, man, no way. Like it's hard for them to be with one woman for the rest of their life. Like for you, how has that been? Like as far as like finding that intimacy, finding like, this is my person and I'm staying in it. Like what are some of the tools for someone that wants to stay in it? And like, how do you navigate that space? Like, sometimes I'd be wishing I stayed a virgin because I'm like, the trauma.
Because the door's open now.
The ninjas. That but anyway, yes.
Yeah. I think for me, if we're talking about like staying in my relationship in all aspects, I remind myself, and this is something I actually strongly believe, that you are committing to your marriage every day. Every day. You have to make an active, the ring is not enough. Like you have to, it's not. There's plenty of men and women for that matter that will cheat with the ring on. There are plenty of men and women for that matter who are more attracted to a person because they have a ring on because now you're a challenge. And so you have to make a very conscious effort to commit to your marriage, commit to your vows every single day.
I love that.
And if you're not doing that, when temptation comes, it's easier. And listen, this is the other thing, right? Like at the end of the day, no relationship is, I've been married for 21 years, been with Kevin since I was 16. I said several times I'm 42. You could do the math. The reality is it's been a long time. That's the math. It's been a long time.
Literally.
And so it's easy to like convince yourself that there's someone better. It's better on the other side. It's greener on the other side. And then, you know what rings in my brain?
What's that?
Beyonce, Giselle, Knowles Carter. She said, ring the alarm.
I've been doing this too. But I be now.
And I just feel like, correct.
Correct.
Because what you mean? Absolutely. I'll shoot you and him. And then turn myself in.
That's how honest you are. I'm going to turn myself in after I did it.
I ain't
Ask
got no
me
time,
why.
Because that's what I really want. Can I go on a stand? Because I want to say why. I want the world to know.
This is why I did what I did,
This
and
is
I
why
don't regret
I did.
it.
And I promise you, I have no regrets. Because I'm 25. Girl, I wish you would. I will be the Lemonade album all up and through. Take me on tour, Beyonce. Okay?
I'm screaming. No, that's so good. Like, you and Kev have always been like honest, like, and open about like sex, and especially coming from like the church, like how you said churchy. I love that. Even when you was mentioning churchy, I'm like, oh, it's like the show churchy.
That's where it came from.
Like, literally so good. Like from the church background, like where the message is mostly about like waiting and not, not about like learning and the joy of it and like intimacy. What's one thing you wish someone would have told you about sex, pleasure, or communication before you actually got married?
That it's about you.
Oh.
I think, especially as women in the church, I think we are socialized. I've said this many a times on the Love Hour. I think we are socialized to believe that we are an object in our husband's sexual experience and not an active participant in our own. And unless you are a higher desire woman where this is like your own, and honestly, high desire women are often shamed.
Yeah.
They're called Jezebels. And let me encourage you, ain't nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
But if you are lower desire, I feel like that narrative, you feel like you're just there to be used as an object. And I think one of the things that this is in the church, but even more widely, I would say as well, that we need to do a better job of educating women that their sexual experience is about them.
Yeah.
That their pleasure is important.
I love that.
And that is, if there's any message that I would want women to hear, young women to hear, it would be that.
I love that. Because like we often, like I'm using the idea of the closet, like we're always decluttering and like letting stuff go. But like some of those things sit into our subconscious mind. And sometimes we like, even when you're a child and you're thinking like, oh yeah, like that's when I was a child. But like, it's literally, I always tell people rumination is real because it doesn't matter how old you are or how long it has happened. Like your brain, the subconscious mind is like more filled with things in the conscious mind. So like these are thoughts and things that's constantly roaming through your mind every single day without you actually know. That's why meditation and prayer is important, because when you sit in it, sometimes you can capture those thoughts, right? Yeah. Or sometimes you catch like, oh my God, like where'd that come from? That allows you to bring it to therapy to like dig deeper. But like for you to say like that, it's about you. I agree. Cause like growing up, all you hear, like even when you're in a relationship in high school, it's like, oh, what can I do for you?
Yeah.
How can I serve you? And like, even that word has gotten, sometimes it gets to me because it's like, oh, you have to be serve. Yeah. It's like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Because serve kind of be sounding like slavery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound like or like you don't have a role.
Or you don't your only job is to do this. And that is so important to like let that declutter that thought from out your head. Like this is about us.
100%.
And that's again comes back to that unity. Like I love that. Like that's so
and
good.
honestly, your man would be appreciative of it, unless he's a young guy who's a little selfish. For the most part, grown men out here love a good, like, sexually empowered woman.
Period.
Yeah, that's real.
That's a drop the mic moment. Period. Okay, so I want to. You mentioned before openly. This is the only reason why I can bring it up here. But like your parents' marriage, like the infidelity there, like and witnessing that shaped how you show up in your own relationship. What did that experience teach you about the cost of silence?
Oh, everything I've talked about in relationships is off the backs of my parents' relationship. Years went by before or after my parents got divorced. And my mom and my dad have told me separately that if they could go back, they wouldn't have done it.
Oh, wow.
And I think, and that was silence. You know what I mean? Like they did, like not only was it things unsaid and untended to in the marriage, even at the dissolution of the marriage, there were things that you could have said to like not let it get that far.
Yeah.
And so I'm not grateful my parents got divorced, but I am grateful for that I was able to take that, and it's something that I've processed as lessons and advice that I like try to hold near
Yeah.
you know, in my relationship and things that I try to teach my kids. My parents got married young too. You know, they were 18 and 20 when they got married, and I was at the wedding.
Yeah.
And I'm the oldest for the mathematics. And so I know that there were things that were unsaid, and the thing about unsaid needs is that they're corrosive. And that corrosion is called resentment.
Yeah.
And resentment turns into apathy. Wow. And if you listen to the Gottmans, that is one. They have like it's been a long time, but I think I want to call it the like 5 horsemen of divorce or something like that, or 6, something like that. Apathy is one of the number one indicators of divorce. It's one of of all of them. It's like stonewalling a few other ones. Yeah. Apathy is the one that's the hardest to come back from.
That's deep. So even with with your parents telling you this separately, like, first of all, you had the courage to even ask them.
Oh, I've gone and had very good, I'm really grateful for the conversations I was able to have with them.
Yeah. Like what are 2 lessons like individually that you learned from like your mom and like from your dad that you can now infuse? Because like you see like the infidelity and all that stuff, but there was a lesson there. But what is something that they told you that helps your marriage now?
From my mom, definitely say your needs out loud. Say your needs out loud. And then from my dad, I would say it's therapy. Wow. My parents are young. My dad's only 62, so they're fairly young. But my dad has had, his own trauma. Yeah. He was raised by a single mom. He didn't have, he did have a father figure, but it was his uncle. Yeah. And so processing, like when I talk to him, I'm like, Daddy, you maybe should have went to therapy yourself, Yeah. And so understanding that, one of my friends used to say, I don't want to bleed on people. Yeah. I don't want my trauma and my pain to bleed out and show up in these other relationships. And that's why, for me, his lesson would be, you got to go to therapy. Yeah. You got to work through your internal stuff that you don't even know is there. Yeah. But like you said, it's in your subconscious. They're beliefs that you hold on to, and they inform how you act. Yeah. How you show up in the world.
That's true. Yeah. I love that. Oh, thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
Us that. So like you said that you now make it a point to speak up and not let things like simmer over. Like, what point along the way was like that moment, not a therapy, but like it could be you in the house cooking, like where you was like, you know what, being quiet is not serving me in this moment. So let me say something.
There was a turning point where it'll come back to therapy, but I'm gonna tell you the moment. Yeah. Kev was on tour. We've shared this story before. And I think it was in like Philly or something. And I went to see him. Yeah. And so after the show, there's comedians. I think there was a security guard at the time, the photographer there. So there's like a team of people. My sister was there. So that means my brother-in-law was there. He's like the tour manager. And so at the end of the show, we're separating into the cars that we're going to ride in. And Kevin gets into the car with the rest of the comedians and the crew. And I ended up staying in the car with my sister. But my brother-in-law is in the car with us because he wants to be with his wife. Yeah. So I'm like, and I asked Kev, like, do you want to ride with me? He was like, no. However it went down, I don't want to put too much on it. Yeah, no. And well, the other thing, I'll go through it. So, he ended up riding with them. My feelings were so hurt. My feelings were hurt because I was like, I don't have to be here. Like, I'm not the one on tour. You're on tour. I have stuff I have to do at home. Setting up car rides and all of these things for the boys to get to and from school, soccer practice, all of these things. It's not easy. It's just easier for me to be in LA and do that. I'm flying all the way to the West Coast or the East Coast to Philly to come to your show. And then the first opportunity I get to see you, you don't even want to be in the car with me. You don't think that's weird? Because I think that's weird. And like my feelings are hurt behind this. And so we ended up having a full conversation about this in the hotel room after the show. Yeah. It wasn't the most productive conversation. We don't be fussing and arguing like that, but it wasn't productive. Yeah. And so we brought it up in therapy. And one of the things, this is why the things are fuzzy in my brain about exactly what was said back and forth, because in therapy, what she had us do, we bring this up. I'm telling her, like, my feelings were hurt. Like, I feel like you don't appreciate me. Like, I'm doing all of these things for you.
Yeah.
I don't have to. Like, I could have just stayed. Like, my life is way easier not taking a flight to Philadelphia. And so we tell my side, Kev tells his side, and Kev was like apologizing, all of these things. And so the therapist said, loved her. Oh my God, she was so good. What she said was, knowing what you know today, have the conversation again. And so she made us replay the conversation with what we would have said, should have said, based on how we and what we know today. Easily one of the most therapeutic, healing things I've ever done in my entire life. To have a conversation, and now it literally has this Band-Aid over it that I don't and can't fully recall the original incident because it's always anchored to the secondary conversation.
Oh, wow.
And so it just speaks to, like, obviously have a productive conversation, but like saying it, getting it out is what led to that. And so I'm really grateful. It's literally one of my favorite therapy conversations, and like ways, like antidotes that I give for people to like go to therapy.
Yeah. And not even that, but like how you can apply that to, like, if it's a conversation that you had with a friend or like that. Oh, I wish I would have said, like, I would have said this.
Yeah.
Like, now you can run it back. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah. It was really, really good.
Like, look at like my day-to-day life, you know? So, okay. So I believe this is like the messy middle, right? Like there's a turning point. There's this point where you're reinventing or what may have you. Like every woman has it. And like, it's where nothing is glamorous, where everything feels like it's a mess. Like, what season was that for you?
Now. I'm gonna go with right now.
I'm screaming.
I'm gonna go with the current season because it is messy, because I don't know the direction that I'm headed. And that's scary, you know? I don't know how I fully want to show up, you know? And that's scary. Like, I don't want to romanticize the like fun of it, although I'm having a great time, I'm not gonna lie. But it does come with like, so what does this look like? I don't know. And so, and perimenopause has me in a wreck. Oh my God.
The emotions. I mean, you said like your emotions are like
they're
raging,
all
like,
out of the place. Like, I don't have the and this is why also it's messy. A lot of women with perimenopause get rage, a lot of like anger. I feel like I wish I had that. I don't know. But I have like the exact opposite. I just cry.
What if Peri is just like really exposing like the true feelings at the center of your heart? What if we flip that? What if that's really who you are?
It 100% is. Because I was a crybaby. I was very sensitive as a kid. And then like in my 30s or so, I was like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of crying. This is so stupid. Like, I have to get better. And so I like cut it off. I was like, I'm done. I'm done crying.
Yeah.
Like, this is over. I am back to who I was when I was a kid, but like way worse. Like,
you're scaring me.
So overwhelmed.
Because people used to say that about me. Like, you're a baby, you're a crybaby. My mom was like, I couldn't drop you off anywhere because the moment I drop you off, 10 minutes, like, because you would not stop crying. I'm nervous because I don't cry. Like, now I'm literally like, man, I'm a thug. I ain't crying. Like, but I will cry by myself. I don't want people to see me cry.
Yeah.
So I got to look forward to crying.
I'm going to pray you don't do that. I'm going to pray because it's so, like, I literally explain it that I'm arrested by my emotions.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to dive into, before we wrap this up, I called you a super mom, super woman. I literally have, y'all, please hear me out. I have seen Melissa, I mean, from the moment, and I used to get there early. She was already out the house. I don't know where she was at, dropping the kids off to school. She comes back, she changing her clothes. I gotta hop in the shower. Like, literally, you have done things. I don't know where you find time to sleep, because I have not ever seen you say, I'm about to go take a nap,
and
or I'm resting, but you don't. Okay, so like, record a podcast, you film content, you go pick up the boys, then you come back with dry cleaning so I can put it in the closet, you run the house, you order in lunch. Shaniece, you want something from? I'm like, how are you doing all of these things? Like, what is it that literally drives you to do all of this stuff?
Because it got to get done. It got to get done. I don't know that I have I don't know. It got to get done.
Is there something inside of you that says, if I don't do this, then like, is there some like negative connotation of you not doing something or getting something handled? Because you literally do a lot of things in one day, every day, not just one day.
I think that I'm so grateful to be in this place that I don't want to feel like I am not being responsible with it. So if it takes doing 3,000 things to maintain and keep, like, well, girl, it got to get done, you know? And I think partly that is anxiety that like God's going to like, you know, he's so petty that, oh, you don't want to be grateful. I'm going to snatch the rug from up under you and you'll be worse than you were before. But like, I really am, like, I am grateful, you know, to have been on this journey. And so, and I don't want to be irresponsible. And so, you know, if my husband got 3,000 things to do and I need to do 3,000 to ensure he can do his 3,000, well, that's what we're going to do.
Well, I mean, you've been doing it incredibly. So
Thank
I just
you.
want to say that. I remember a moment we was working in the closet, right? And we was going through your stuff. And it's not because you were irresponsible, whatever, but we found multiples of things, right?
Yes.
You was like, oh my God, I didn't even know this was in here. Or like, what is like something, cause we even touched on this a little bit. Like when you were like, when you step into from working and then you step into more money or like increase in finances, kind of like, this is also part of my life. Like I'm always recording. I have to shop. I have to buy. What would you say, even from that session, like has anything shifted for you the way that you look at finances or the way you shop, like now that you've gone through that process?
A couple things. Number one, I feel like the internet is having this, but I've been on this. It actually low-key kind of started with you, but I feel like it's a little bit more increased. I am trying. Okay, that's holding a lot of weight in the sentence again. I'm so over the overconsumption. And feeling the need to buy. There's always something new. And so trying to like take inventory of what I have and like how I can remix stuff. Even today, I was like, oh, what am I going to wear? I don't really know what to wear. And then I was like, girl, you can figure this out. Relax. It's going to be okay. Go on Pinterest. I was like, I had this vision of what I wanted to wear. Go on Pinterest and try to like find some inspo.
Yeah.
And so I think that is a like, you know, just a mind shift in that like you don't always need the new eyeshadow. You don't always need the boot or the shirt, and you don't need it in every color. Like those, and going back to knowing yourself, like this purple bag, for example, so cute. Oh my God, I really want it. How often you gonna wear a purple bag?
Yeah. Oh, you know, and that was going against you. Remember when you were like, oh, these little tiny bags, I ain't fitting nothing there. I was like, but they're so cute. You was like, I'm not fit. And the next time I came, they was gone. They were out of
Once I'm in, and that's what I'm saying. I think it low key did start with you of like, wow, Melissa, you do have like a lot of stuff, and a lot of the stuff you don't use, you don't need, or they're like this and this serve the same purpose. Yes, they're different, but like they serve the same purpose. You can get rid of one and you'll be all right. Like it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And so I think there is the coupling of that is also recognizing that with the life, we go to events, we're doing these things, we do have to show up, you know, a certain way, is recognizing there is a limit to how much I can pare down just based on like how I want to show up. Yeah. And what I want to do. But at the same time, the maximum can't be the maximum.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's fair. Cause I know that you was like, well, you know, like growing up, it's not like I had this type of resource. And so I feel like that's like a mindset that a lot of people, even myself, like, listen, before I had a real designer bag, I had the one off Chinatown in New York City because I was like, what? Like, who gonna know the difference? When people do, once you cross over, you understand the difference.
Yeah.
But I think it's like the mindset that a lot of people go through, because it's like sometimes growing up with nothing, I used to be picked on for shoes. And there's no coincidence that like clothes and stuff, I don't, like I'll invest in certain pieces or I'll minimize, but like shoes are my thing. Because that's an area that was a pain for me growing up. So like sometimes our shopping habits
reflect
and that's
that.
something like we even came across. He was like, yeah, I really didn't have that growing up. So now it's like oh yeah, I got 2 of these. Oops. Like, but not anymore.
Yeah. Because I think that's part of evolution, right? You know, you do get $3 in your pocket, and now you want to have and heal, so to speak. It's not really healing, but you want to heal that child that has that bruise and that wound from your childhood.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have, I didn't grow up poor, but I definitely didn't have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you're limited.
So I was definitely limited.
My mom was not playing that.
Yeah, correct. Very limited. And so now you're just like, oh, I want this. I want this. I want this. I can get this. I can get this. I can get this. And I think the next evolution of that is like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't even need that.
Yeah.
And it'll be all right, girl. It'll be okay. And I think that's kind of like the space that I find myself in, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And which is good. Because first of all, you have incredible taste. So
Thank you. Thank you. And you can use your stuff. And I also think that's why the DIY stuff is coming in, because you get, at least for me, like there's a boredom that comes with like the buy.
Yeah.
The hurry up and buy, and this is the new and the season, this is the color, and da. I still consume the content because I do enjoy it, but I try not to be so influenced where like the next thing I want to do is click add to cart. That I don't want to do.
It's like now you have like a thought, like a process of like, do I need this? Am I going to wear it? Like another small bag. Like I remember you had did even content around it. I was like, I don't need this small bag because I'm not going to use it.
I'm not going. And knowing myself, like, okay, it's cute, but like, it's not practical for me.
No.
I don't want a bag that doesn't fit my phone. I have to know this about me. I have to. Some people are like, I'll just hold it. And I love that for you. I'm not holding my phone. I think that's stupid, and I'm not doing it.
I got a little bag inside of a bag. That's everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
So you recently just launched this oil line.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Well, what I know about your closet is that you love scents.
Yeah.
They need their own closet.
They do.
They really need their own area, right? Tell us about like first of all, because you popped out on the internet. Like y'all popped out like what? And it was a whole like
shoot idea, everything.
Commercial.
Yeah, it was great.
All of the things like the ads. Like tell me about this, like the inspiration, and like I knew you always enjoy scents. So like what? Yeah, tell us about Bankable.
Yes. So the collab is with Brown Sugar Babe. They're a Black woman-owned brand that I found a couple years ago. If you like Rich Auntie, it may be off the back of my video, to be honest. But I just really enjoyed like their oils. I love supporting Black-owned business. I especially love supporting Black women-owned business. Yes. You're always going to get a coin from me, okay? And so they approached me, I want to say actually about like being an ambassador.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, let's just do a collab. Like, I feel like that'll be like better, easier, whatever. And so they were down with it. And so we went back and forth on like a couple different ideas. And I was like, people know that I love Rich Auntie. And so I really want something that kind of has that like bang and beast mode. And so that is luxury coated. It is a very juicy, fruity scent. There's some pomegranate in there, and it's a pretty, like, to me, it's beast mode. Okay, you really don't need to layer with anything. It's a very, very juicy beast mode scent. And then Bankable is what I would consider. That's why I called it Bankable. She's easy. She still smells really, really good. Yeah. Low key, probably my personal favorite on just like because she's very wearable. But she's gonna be more like universally liked. Like that's what that is. There's some vanilla in there. We love vanilla. It's warm. It's just a really great everyday easy. It's very easy to layer. Like love Bankable. I love it. And then luxury coated, like literally if you have like because of course I have a layering video I need to do actually. But if you have like Lost Cherry, something that's like a fruity scent, but that's on a like warmer side, it works really well with luxury coated. So again, your Kayali 28 works really well because it's like a boozy vanilla. If you have Lost Cherry by Tom Ford, that works really well. If you have Vanilla Oud by Kayali, or even Oud Satin Mood by Maison Francis Kurkdjian, works really, really well. Really, really well. with Luxury Coated.
Oh, I love it. First of all, I'm excited about it. I was like, wait, she didn't tell me about this.
Yeah.
So it was a surprise
It
to
was
everybody.
like a little surprise.
Because you and Kev was like the black Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I said, I see what you guys did here. Okay, so we are at the point where I need to ask you, right? All that we talked about. But I want to ask you one closet confession, and then I want you to give the people like your closet prescription, like for them, right? What's one piece you keep that represents a version of you you've grown out of but haven't let go of yet?
Ooh, I have there's a couple things I have. There's a couple of things. I still have my senior high school sweatshirt from 2001 is when I graduated. Actually, it's still in the fold that you did because I don't wear it anymore. So I still have that. I still have I graduated from the University of Washington in Seattle, Washington. I still have it was called Sisterhood. It was basically like a Black woman organization on campus. And so we had these shirts made. I still have that shirt. And then I also have my very first piece of like University of Washington purple. It's also a sweatshirt because that'd be cold. I don't anymore, child.
That'd be hot.
That'd be hot.
Reverse.
But I still have it's a purple husky sweatshirt from the University of Washington.
Oh, okay. So before we close, this is the part of the show where you get to offer your closet RX. Okay. And it's a prescription for the heart, the mind, or whatever season of life the audience or the listener may be in. And I want you to give it to them around advocating for yourself and not just finding your voice, but using it.
This is what I would say. As millennials, all right, I'm talking to millennials, very specifically the older millennials, not like if you're a 90s millennial, this might not be for you. But if you're an older 80s zillennial millennial, as we are entering perimenopause, I have not talked about it enough. If you know that you are different, if you know that you're raging or you're emotional the other way like me and you're crying all the time, if you know you're like having brain fog where literally, I've asked myself, and apparently this is like a question that comes up for women a lot that are perimenopausal before they realize it. Is this early onset dementia? Like, is something going on in my brain? Why am I so forgetful? Why am I forgetting things? That's that brain fog. If you know that your temper is shortened, you feel like your cycle is weird, your skin is being weird, your inner ear is itching, like all of these things, you're just like, you haven't pinpointed it, but you're just like, something's off. Go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. And if the doctor tells you, oh, we can run a test, and we'll be able to tell if you're perimenopausal, find another doctor. The test will only show you that you're menopausal. Perimenopause is diagnosed, so to speak, by your symptoms. So if they're not listening to your symptoms, if they're not offering you something that can help you manage those symptoms, get a second opinion. You have to advocate for yourself. You have to. I did that. I went to a doctor. It was a woman. I thought I was doing the right thing. I was like, oh, she's going to get it. She was on the like youngish side. Yeah. Girl, she had me do a test. Came back. She was like, oh, everything's fine. And I was like, I know you lying.
Ma'am, give me.
I know you're lying. And so I went and I found a different doctor. Because I was like, if I am fine, I'm losing my mind. Then I need to see a psychiatrist because it's something is happening. And I went and saw a different doctor, and she's the one who gave me this information. Of course, there's tons of information on TikTok as well. But one of the things she said was, our generation, millennials, zillennials, we're coming in more informed because we have access to more information. And so you can Google this. TikTok is for as much misinformation that is on TikTok. There's a lot of really good sound information on TikTok that has helped me give me the words to go into my doctor's office and say, this and this and this is wrong. These are my concerns, and I would like to try this. Yeah. And find a doctor. I mean, literally find a doctor. You should find your voice, advocate for yourself, right? But like, find a doctor where you don't have to fight.
Yeah.
Find a doctor that hears you the first time. And you don't have to keep coming back and advocate because it gets exhausting.
Yeah. Because I'm telling you the same thing I told you the last time that we visited
girl,
together.
I'm not finna have this conversation with you over and over, and I'm tired of having it over and over. So I'm gonna just deal with this and figure it out. There are solutions and resolutions out there. Find a doctor that will listen to you.
I love that.
So that's like my soapbox because I really am. I am and was in the thick.
Yeah.
Like when I look back on, I was down really bad, to be completely honest, like very transparently. I was not in a good, like my mental health was suffering. Like it was a lot going on. And I was like, there's no way I can live my life like this. And it wasn't until I was like, I have to find a new doctor. Like there has to be something going on, that I found this new doctor, and it's just made a world of difference for me. And you don't have to live in a world where you're suffering. Like it's 2025. Like there are options out there. So like find your voice, advocate for yourself. And sometimes that looks like finding a doctor you don't even have to advocate for yourself for. Like, this is my problems. And they say, great, I understand. I hear you. These are the solutions. These are the steps that we can do. Here's the plan. That's what my doctor did. I said, God bless you. She said, we're going to try this first.
God bless you. Thank you. Now
it didn't work. I went back to her. I said, hey girl, listen, I feel like the woman with the issue of blood. Can we do something else? She said, she was like, great, we can do something else. Let's try this. Like, she is so just, God bless her. God freaking bless her. But like, these are the things that I think are important for women.
I love that. Thank you so much. Like, ladies and gentlemen, audience, listeners, all of y'all, this is Miss Kev on Stage, Melissa Fredericks, and I am so grateful. Thank you for taking the time out, because she's about to zoom out of here. I promise y'all.
I have to go pick up my son.
Exactly. She's about to fly out of here to go do something else, and you took time for me today, and I'm so grateful for you.
Thank you. This was great fun.
Oh, yay. Listen, guys, if you are not subscribed to Closet Therapy, wherever you listen to your podcast, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little bell so you don't miss an episode. And we'll be back here with another episode and a new guest.